大家好，欢迎大家收看《同志一方人》，我是小杰。你想要孩子吗？是收养的还是你自己生一个？对同性恋父母来说，也是一个非常大的人生选择。我们今天要去采访一对同性恋准爸爸，听听他们对将要做爸爸的感受。Steve, very nice to meet you. And let's start at the very beginning. When did you first decide you wanted to have kids?
Well, I think we always knew. Well, I always knew I wanted to be a dad. My dad and me are really close, and it was always a matter of when, or more, obviously with the gay factor, a matter of how. And then meeting Lee, it was something that we both always wanted to do before we even met. And when we met and everything went so beautifully, it was very natural. We just started talking about it, and then everything sort of started falling into place. So it wasn't a challenge for us in any way.
It's been a while. I think whenever I was, I don't know, early teens, I think I dreamt of having a family. When I met Steve, we talked about having a family from the very beginning. I definitely came from a very happy family. My mom has been amazing. My brother is gay.
All right.
And he came out when he was 18. I was about 10 then, and my parents were always fine with that, and never an issue. They just want us to be happy. But when my brother came out, I kind of felt the pressure that now I can't come out. I have to continue to have a family, because for some reason I just kind of had that.
You felt responsible to
carry
the line on.
Yeah, but that was when I was younger.
My sister, who is 28, and my cousin, who is 30, are both adopted from Sri Lanka. So I've grown up with quite a patchwork family. My sister's one of my best friends, and so is my cousin. And so obviously adoption was one of the first things we looked at. There's so many kids out there without parents. If we can help one of them and bring them up as our own, that would be fantastic. So we looked into that for about 6 months and realised that it wasn't an option. And unfortunately, there's not many countries where we can do that. One of the countries that we could have would have been the US. However, it would have taken between 3 and 5 years, no guarantee of children, and fairly complicated. We then sort of did more research on other things, from surrogacy to other areas, but mainly surrogacy. And through an article on the New York Times, we found more information about India. From there, we started emailing a clinic in Mumbai who sort of lined up over time a surrogate, and then they gave us profiles of an egg donor. And from there, they were asked us to go to India. So we went to India in early July. And then on the same day that they harvested the eggs from the egg donor. The egg donor and the surrogate are two separate women.
Right.
And so they harvested the eggs from the egg donor. They brought the surrogate in, and we made our deposit of sperm. We decided to use my sperm because I'm older than Lee, and you never know what's going to happen. And from that, it was quite simple. And about 10 days later, they sent us an email telling us that we were pregnant.
And it's twins, I believe.
It is twins, yes.
Have you been informed of the genders yet?
No, we'll know in 2 weeks.
You'll know in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So you asked to find out beforehand?
Yeah, we want to know.
Yeah, it's week 16 now.
Week 16?
Yeah, in 2 to 3 weeks we'll know if there are girls or boys, which is very exciting.
I think there's so many different ways to argue it. I think, having gay parents, friends of ours have said it'd be easier for a girl than a guy having to say, my dad's gay.
Yeah.
It's not much easier for a girl. I don't know. I think it works either way. At the end of the day, as long as our babies are healthy, we don't care. We don't care, what sex they are.
So have you started thinking of any names that you want to give
Definitely. Them? Of course, yes. I mean, obviously Lee being Finnish, me being Australian, and we live in China, Lee speaks Spanish. We'd love names that work in every language, but it's kind of a bit of a challenge.
Of course.
But we've got some names that we like. Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be the normal issues. I think, we're obviously very aware about the environment in which we bring up the kids. I think for the first 3 to 4 years, China will be fine. But at the same time, we do want our kids to be able to speak Finnish, as well as understand Australia. Obviously, they'll speak English because they grow up in Beijing, as well as Chinese. Me and Lee both speak Chinese, so it's going to be important for them to have that. But no, I mean, there are always going to be things that we're going to come across. We haven't thought too much about them yet, but we're obviously aware that they're going to be issues that come up. You know, and we're also aware of the fact you live in somewhere like San Francisco or London or Sydney, it's a lot easier. However, you know, we have lots of friends in Beijing who have kids, and the support has been as strong from them as there would be from anyone else.
I'll be speaking in Finnish only. Steve will be speaking in English only, and hopefully our eyes they will be speaking in Chinese. So, but apparently we found out that children take about 6 more months to learn to speak when they've been raised in bilingual families. So it'll be about 2.5 years when they start speaking. But then they start speaking in all these different tongues.
languages, yeah.
Which is amazing. I can't wait.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As long as my Finnish is good enough.
大家好，欢迎大家观看我们这一期的网络播客节目《同志一凡人》，我是主持人亮马，
我是小刚，
我是林。
我们今天谈论的话题呢，是跟男女同志还有跟孩子有关系的一个话题。谈到男女同志和孩子，肯定就会想到这个收养，还有人工受精这一块。所以林今天到我们这儿来呢，他也是有一个很重大的一个事情要和我们一块儿分享。
我跟我的女朋友是计划要，我们生一个小孩儿。其实准确意义上面来说的话呢，是他要生一个小孩儿。但是我觉得这个事情，因为是我们共同做的决定，然后未来共同去抚养这个小孩儿。
但你觉得现在在国内，就是你要生一个小孩，他会面临什么样的一个困难？
问题太多了。刚开始做决定的时候是觉得好玩儿，你知道吗？就说混血多好玩儿啊，长得就会很，因为身边见到朋友生的都很好看嘛，就你是觉得好奇，如果我们生会长什么样，然后就做了这个决定，然后等你真的开始要去把这个计划去实施的时候，你发现每一步都特别麻烦。
对，我听说你们也找了什么精子银行，也想去国外做这个人工受孕，好像都是挺难的一些部分。
因为之前看那个 youve 的，好像挺简单嘛，一说要生小孩，然后走去精子银行，然后选一下就开始抱着那个皮儿就回来就开始做了，你知道吗？
对，电视上他肯定把所有那部分都
全都省掉了，你知道吗？然后我们其实也经历这个过程，因为国外的精子银行呢，它都有网站，然后呢提供捐献者的基本资料。
基本资料指的是怎么样的？
特别好玩，你上去也可以看一下。你就去选择跟你搜索一样的，说我要白种人，然后我要那个身高，比如说1.8米以上的，然后我要蓝眼睛，然后我要什么学历以上的，然后还可以选国家，还可以选那个他是不是混的，还是说他自己就可以混好多的，你都可以选。
有照片吗？
照片可以给你，是要花钱买的，就是说你可以买他童年照片。对，那一张照片可能是比如说多少美金，然后你可以买它再大一点的照片，然后可能要花更多的钱。
就还可以买到就是他近照是吧？
有些提供了的你就可以买，有些人他不提供的，他就会告诉你这个人没有提供照片。那么那个人的资料说提供了儿童照片还是青年照片。亲子银行很好玩，然后呢，它一小瓶儿，然后呢大概是400美金吧，差不多是这样一个价格。